I liked it right when I saw it on Twitter.
Nice, yeah. No, so this is obviously the first like official hang sessions. And like so it's taking this idea that we've been doing, just recording our conversations.
Mhm.
Um and just kind of like making it its own brand. And yeah, no, like I really like it. I like the idea of like recording everything and getting like the best moments of life, you know.
Mhm.
A lot of the best moments just happen in flow when we're talking in our with our friends or whatever type of moments, and those are the type that we're gonna start recording more and like capturing more. So like that's what I'm like really stoked about to explore because like it hasn't been explored a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like capturing moments that usually aren't captured when we're usually not recording, and like the realest moments, the coolest
Right.
moments, like
Yeah.
so yeah, and then so like I'll just be doing like the hang sessions and then like breaking it up with um, highlights and cool stuff that happens or whatever. So
Nice.
yeah,
I like
dude.
it. I like it.
So actually, earlier today I was just working on a little video, kind of like an intro video to hang sessions. That's like a minute long, but I'll just like post it after this. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I
What
like
about
the
you?
idea behind it. I've been just kind of painting, hanging out. I had track practice, and now here I am. So pretty relaxed today. But
Word. Um, so talk to me about school. Talk to me about college and your thoughts, how things are going and stuff. What your plan is.
um, still a no plan. That's a lot. I mean, that's pretty up in the air. But I've just been frustrated with doing a lot of things that I think of my end goal a lot and where I want to be in the future. And there's things that college does for me that helps, put me there. But then there's also things that are kind of behind the curtains or whatever. You don't really see them, but they waste a lot of your energy and sort of inhibit you from being able to get to your end goal faster. Like being stuck in this location, this city, not a bad city or anything, but just being able to travel would help me more with my end goal. Maybe not, a doctor's or, someone who really needs to go to school, but trying to pursue arts, I think I shouldn't have to adhere to someone's schedule really either, as far as like class times go and things like that. So I don't know. Those are just my frustrations, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
But like being surrounded by mentors and peers is a good thing. But I think that there's a broader range, out there.
Yeah, totally.
There's more than just like what's here at SDSU.
Yeah, totally. You know, what's interesting is like you're saying, like some things help, some things waste energy, you know?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the idea that earlier today actually about like what if we got better at like living in the way like better in the way of like creating your narrative, creating your story, like creating the fucking story that you want to live, you know? Like creating in your mind and every second like living in that space, you know? Like and that's
Right, like
something.
basing small decisions off of the reality in which you want to be a part of.
Yeah, but also even just like something that's like something that consumes you, you know, like a vision, like an experience that's always consuming you, right? And
Okay.
so just as far as like, okay, like um you start to picture the life that you want, you know, and then so the only way to implement obviously is like now. So like now, like just like the idea of like taking on an amazing experience, like living every moment ecstatically, you know, like trying to make life exciting and exactly what you want in every moment, not have any like moments that aren't exactly what you want, which is like what college is, which is what like
Right.
when you get told what to do, right? Like you're not doing exactly what you want. You're not finding that. You're not like creating the world that you want
Right.
exactly, you know.
Right.
And that's something that, fuck, that always urged me. Like ever since I was real young, I would do anything to get out of class and like whatever. I've no matter what, like, yeah. I mean, there are some like really interesting classes I maybe wanted to be at for a little bit, but I don't know. Just being
Hmm.
controlled has never been my thing.
Right.
Anyway, that was just something I was thinking about today. Um, so do you have like a year left or something?
Yeah, I have 3 semesters left actually,
Mm.
unless I wanted to really uh, kill myself as far as credits go for 2 semesters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I'm at, and it's unfortunately um, basically finishing classes that I don't want to take. So that's not too fun to look forward to. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot to weigh out, and and I think that it's kind of like I feel like I've been warehoused here, waiting
Mm-hmm.
to be put into real world, but kind of they don't know what to do with me, so I'm here now. And it
Yeah.
seems like if I don't have a plan.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's very interesting about college that I just realized is like the government loves to give us partial freedom, you know. Like
Hmm.
somebody who controls you loves to give you partial freedom because you feel like you're free. And
Yeah.
college is exactly that. It's partial freedom. People are like, "Oh, like I'm off on my own."
Yep.
But no, you're not like I mean, yeah, you're away from your parents, but you are fucking just as much in the system as you ever have
Yep.
been.
Yep.
So like it's interesting, right? It's like it's giving people the illusion that they're free when they're not. So,
Yeah. It's like a recess or something.
mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Huh. I don't know. I think that it's just like the way that they uh, the way that the system is too objective, if that makes sense. It's not subjective enough to each person. So like it is a good thing that college has become a popular option because people want to continue education, but it's not like cookie cutter really, you know?
Hmm.
Like being a mentor or having mentors and having groups of people within fields is about as specific as you can get. But then after that, as you branch off, it really like it's not one size fits all, Because I think you do need to do certain things that are implemented here to become, to become professional in different areas. But then they don't absolutely overlap to every major, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. In some things, like the doctor thing, like, you know, that's always the one thing. It's like if you're gonna be a doctor, you have to know X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So like I don't know, like I can't really argue with that, or I don't have a better model for how to do it. Um, but like for the most part, it seems like just naturally going after it. Everything just naturally going about life is just so much more rewarding and so much more interesting and healthy for us, I think. Like
Yeah.
everything. I mean, kids want to read. Like kids will, you know, they'll want to learn how to read. They're gonna want to learn how to write. Like even the simplest things, we just don't trust people to actually do it, right?
Right.
So it's like I don't know, like I just and I think like when it comes from in you, like that's the best. I mean, and I don't think there's like any argument for that almost, you know, like when things are intrinsic, you know,
Right.
your motivations or you know like your motivations to go learn something. Um, when it's intrinsic and you have to actually figure out what's important to you and then actually make that happen. Like that's nowhere near where our education is right now, you know?
Right.
And I just think it's ridiculous that we don't trust kids to do that, you know? Like
Right.
fuck, like I was pissed off that I didn't articulate this, but like I was pissed that nobody trusted me. That like I was pissed that I couldn't just go live my life how I wanted to, right? Like I wanted to do tons of shit when I was young.
Yep.
I was so
Yep.
pumped to go fucking do take over the world, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and I wanted to go do it, and instead I was like locked up in school. Otherwise, I was going to go to jail. I had no choice, you know. And it's
Yeah.
just, I think it's a tragedy we don't fucking trust the kids to do it,
Hmm.
or even fucking 20-year-olds. We say go to college, or a lot of people say go to college because they don't like. If you don't go to college, like whoa, like I don't, you know, like what's that
Right.
all about? Like
Right.
it's not trusting. It's just like nope, we don't trust you people, so you better go to college. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts, basically. This is what I've been painting.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, that's so cool. Rad.
So basically, though, right around here, there's going to be a king, like, that would be played as a chess piece. And then scattered throughout the room are going to be a bunch of pawns. They're hanging by nooses. And then this is going to be hung by a noose, too. But the idea is that you get drained in order for him to play his game. If that makes sense. And then, like, him is really symbolic, and I'm not trying to be too literal because,
Sure.
I don't know.
I
I was
love it.
thinking about using some, like, media, political, religious symbology, but I'm not going to get too specific with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's what I feel like. I'm just kind of being hung here and drained. And by the
Dude.
time,
Yeah, totally. Fuck that. Fuck that. This is the best years of your life. Get the fuck out of there. Get out
Mhm.
of there. It's the best years of your life. Like they should be, but they're to assume that I don't know. Like I don't know. Just most people spend their 20s fucking working for other people or their entire lives, but it's just like, especially when you're in your 20s, it's like,
yeah.
oh, those years are so important, so huge.
Well, I don't know if I can create art here and gain connections and still. I mean, uh, I've shared my kind of philosophy with my teachers, a couple of them, where I've missed class, but I'm turning in work that's good and it's on time and everything. And I've shared my, philosophy on attending class and how I think it's unimportant. I attend, lectures that I think I would benefit from, and I get studio time in, I put work in and stuff like that, but I don't think adhering to a schedule is really teaching me to be better at what my end goal is. And that's pretty much where I'm at. If I can keep getting away with what I've been getting away with, I guess. I don't know. Because, worst case scenario, I'm out here when I'm 23, you know. And
Yeah, yeah. No, like, yeah.
if I can get better at becoming less and less a part of this, for the next year and a half.
That's so funny.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude. Like, I just think, yeah, if you just disconnected, dude, like, you could start doing exactly what you want, and like,
Yeah. Like
then,
you,
then, like, I don't know, just the idea of spending a year and a half where you're trying to disconnect from what you're doing
well, and I mean,
versus connecting completely, you know?
I just mean like connecting where I see it vitally important to connect, and then
Yeah,
disconnecting anywhere else. Because I
nice.
think a lot of it has to do with me being distracted by a lot of things going on here. You know, like the drinking scene is pretty futile and meaningless. Not to say that hanging out and like socializing is, but like you know, like the drinking scene and just being so affiliated with the university. I mean, there's a sense of camaraderie. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Um,
or camaraderie, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and uh, and that's good. But I just don't think it's necessary to be like blue and yellow, freaking doing, you know, like participating in everything you can for the university for its, you know, I don't know. I don't see how that helps you specifically so much. It seems to be more of a energy wasting kind of distraction
There's
for
no
me.
value. There's no value in that to me.
No,
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 and actually, like, yeah, I think it's certainly actually doing harm. You know, it's giving us bullshit to think about, like false idol. It's like a false
yeah,
idol, like that idea. And fuck, like, yeah, like it just, what is it doing? It's like it's creating boundaries that aren't there,
hmm
which that's, like, yeah, like how great is that for the government to practice, like putting up artificial boundaries, and then they say, up, we're going to attack this little like group of people that we're going to put up an artificial boundary around. You guys are used to that, and now let's
right,
go kill those fucks, right? Like,
yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, there's no good. Doesn't seem. Well, like maybe there's a little bit of good, but it seems like the bad is overwhelmingly worse, more important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. Seems to me like, you know, I believe that you create your own reality, but that there's kind of a collective reality too that you have to adhere to, like that you have to exist in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know.
No, yeah, like that's like good too, I suppose, huh? Like as far as community coming together and feeling that, like there's obviously really good things about
Yeah.
that, right? And then there's like not good things too.
Well, it's just like I don't know. There's it just turned into like a system, you know, like they saw the reason for going there. There's a need to go there. There's some sort of, you know, idea that you need to do that. Like there's a trying to think like a middle class like desire to be a part of this, like inherently kind of like to to survive, you know, um, with a better way of living. There's this idea that that's connotated with college, and then that was like just taken advantage of, and it's a lot. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I understood actually.
What didn't you understand?
Um, I don't know. Wait, so like, what exactly is it that some of us need? You're saying?
What do you mean?
Like
Sorry.
you're saying like we need the like what is the middle
Oh,
class attached to?
like for reasons of maybe status or just survival by association with group, you know,
Yeah.
um, uh, the idea of going to college is connotated with a better chance of success.
Mm.
Um, because there is still, the separation between those who go and those who don't go, but it's just there's even more separation. I don't know. It's
Yeah, no,
it's kind of an
yeah,
illusion
no,
too.
yeah, I get what you're saying now.
Um,
It's the safe route to social stability and yeah,
but
kind of.
but it's the route to having like a secure and uh, kind of risk-free life or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's not exactly the route to like living in like joy or uh, you
Yeah,
know
yeah, certainly. Certainly.
it offers two things, but it doesn't offer like a great life. I don't know. And with maybe the way we've evolved, that's just really hard to ignore. Is having a
Totally. Yeah.
risk-free and secure life. But I don't know. I've been scrapping for 2 years and living like the broke college kid lifestyle. And I'm sure I could do this. I'd rather do this than clock in, man. Like finding a different way of living.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'd rather live a life where I'm trying to pursue, my end goal instead of living secure and risk-free, clocking in.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What did you want to talk about with art?
Mm,
Nothing in
whatever.
specific.
What's that?
Nothing in specific. Where are you
Mm-mm.
located right now?
San Francisco.
Okay.
Um, let's see, art-wise. It's been interesting. Like I used to really suck at art, and I always kind of didn't like if I try to draw something that was shitty, I would like give up right away, and then that kind of like built up, and then I was never good at art, and I thought I was just didn't think I was good enough to
Yep.
do it, and then I started like really getting into film and like photography, and then now I feel much more comfortable even drawing stuff. Um, it's like I feel like I've just been getting into patterns, which has been really interesting. Like once you understand like patterns and like how to
I
put them together nicely, then like it's over, right? And so like
yeah
that's been cool. And like so I'm trying to improve on that and whatever. Art is what's up. Art is amazing.
yeah. It's almost like you maybe became better at observing,
Hmm.
because you didn't necessarily like work on drawing, but you worked on like seeing what was visually nice.
Yeah. Hmm. So what other projects have you been working on art wise?
A couple other paintings, and then kind of ideas that I would like to do if I had more of like a shop with some money. Um, but yeah, a lot of conceptual, kind of abstract stuff, just because that's kind of what interests me. I'm not too into realism, just because
Yeah.
I like photography, so I don't see the benefit of pencil sketching something. Like I can do that. I have the ability to render something well, but I don't see like
Yeah.
I'd rather abstract it somehow or be more expressionist with it. Um, but yeah, so working on that, and then I'm going down to Texas this summer to live with Sheehan, and we're going to work on a T-shirt company or an apparel company. So working on
Sweet.
those logo designs and stuff. Has he told you about that at all?
Mm-mm.
No. Uh, the idea right now is I think GOAT apparel, greatest of all time. So
Very cool.
yeah, going off of that, and we have a few kind of like visions or concepts to take the design kind of to the design and marketing of it to a niche area, but not really set in stone yet. So that'll be something we're working on this summer.
Sweet.
Yeah, I wanted to do a shirt company last year, and I never.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so
That's fun.
yeah, should be fun.
Totally. With a friend too.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll make it fun, even just in itself.
And he's got a little bit more knowledge in the business area, so that would be nice.
My roommate is doing some unreal stuff. Was I telling you about that at all?
Uh,
So, like, gosh, I don't even know how much I can really talk about what he's doing, but like, he like wants to build rockets. He wants to build like, he wants to be, he wants to be like as big as Google and Apple and Microsoft, and like, he's really has just enormous goals. And he's done like two startups before, both like fairly successful, and like both backed by huge peeps out here, huge like venture capitalists.
nice,
And so he has like this amazing network of mentors and investors like ready to invest in him and all of this stuff. So it's really exciting. And
nice,
yeah, and like we'll just have like 3 4 hour like whiteboard sessions or just like sit around and talk or like go to the beach and talk. So it's been really fun to hang out with him, and just like randomly he like moved in and ended up being
nice.
really cool. So it was fun. Yeah,
That is cool.
totally.
So what kind of stuff does he do all day? Like computer stuff or?
Yeah. He just like codes stuff.
Okay,
hmm
okay,
and he's like trying to scheme on how he can build like this just enormous company. Um, and so yeah, he's like he's like meeting with Zappos and some people, and like yeah, we'll see. So he's like pitching to people, and he's
cool.
so yeah,
That's really cool.
very cool stuff. Um, but yeah, startups, fun. I'm kind of treating all of these YouTube channels as startups in like
What's
their own
that?
way. I'm kind of like treating, well, actually, so I'm starting this Hang Sessions YouTube
Yep,
channel, and then like I'm launching my course soon, and then so like I'll have a YouTube channel for my course where I'll post like a couple videos for free
yep.
and just different things that go with my course, and so that will kind of be a startup, totally a startup, and what else are my ideas? Oh yeah, so then I want to do a YouTube channel, like just potentially on immortality, or I might like combine it with like immortality combined with just people who have beautiful visions for the future, like Monica. You know, people are
Yep.
like just like all types of people who have really cool, doing cool stuff, and so it's like wanted to do, yeah, because this is like it's all about philosophy. Like it's all about thinking. Like where we end up in 20 years from now is just all about our thoughts and what we decide is important and what we do with our
Uh-huh.
time. And so like I'm really interested in like having these conversations about where we're going and people's visions for how we can paint a beautiful picture. And immortality is like central to that to me. So I might combine them. Um, so yeah. And then what was my Oh yeah, I guess, and then my other YouTube channel will just be like my personal channel, which I'll just throw like whatever up there. But it's kind of fun. I kind of start putting out more content and stuff.
Definitely. For some reason, I just kind of got an idea,
Nice.
but yeah,
Do you want to share?
yeah. Just a second. Sort of like an
Cool.
analogy of I don't know, maybe the current state or something. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to draw it really, but basically like a cliff, um, a cliff or like a plateau, an ending or whatever, and a bunch of I would probably use sheep or something, kind of walking towards the end of it. But then there's black sheep within the herd of sheep that are climbing ladders trying to get to the like the to immortality.
Hmm.
But there's this false belief that when you walk off the cliff you land in a net. The idea of heaven, and
Hmm.
uh,
Mm.
and so then they think as long as they just
Oh,
check the
nice.
boxes, they'll land in the net, and they don't need to strive for growth and real. You know what I mean? And so
Oh, wow.
and so
Nice.
like
I
the
love it. I'm all about it.
yeah, so like the masses would be making it harder for those few climbing ladders
Dude, and
reaching their
totally,
potential.
dude, right now, like, there's billions of people. There's fucking 7 billion people on the planet, and there are probably like less than 1,000 people working on immortality, working on longevity and stuff. I don't know about less than 1,000. I mean, very few thousands, I would say for sure.
Hmm.
That's fucked. What the fuck? Like,
Hmm.
like I was just thinking about this. Like, why? Like, like I myself, like I was really thinking about myself and like how I've always thought it's really important, but what have I done? Like, I've talked to people about it and whatever, and I think that's important for sure, but like I want to try to do some shit or at least
At least support the idea.
I don't know, like yeah, I want to do whatever I can to fucking try to do it, right? Um and why isn't half of the world at least working at it?
Right,
It's
right.
it's
Why
the
is it?
worst. It's the worst thing in the world.
Why is
Yeah.
why is the idea of dying and going to some kingdom more believable than not dying? You know,
Oh yeah. No, I mean they're not even
I don't
comparable.
I don't get that, but
Yeah, right. But in people's minds, yeah, that's what. Yeah.
well, and I just think like the reason I'm pointing that at them the most is just because I think that um the the doctrine and like the kind of disciplined aspect of religion, maybe saps enough energy from you to make you feel like that's your work, that's what you need to do. I've done this now, I've done enough. Gone to church on Sunday, I did my Hail Marys or whatever. Now I don't need to go above and beyond um, anything necessary because I know I'm taken care of. You know, so it's not a very responsible mindset.
That's a really good way to put it. Being irresponsible.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude. Like I don't want my mom to die. Like
right.
for me not to do everything I can to fucking save the people around me, like that's irresponsible to me.
Yeah,
You know?
it is. And it's
Like
irresponsible.
that's totally fucking irresponsible, dude. I love that. I love putting it that way. Irresponsible.
Well,
Fuck.
and it's irresponsible to I don't know, just put your I don't really know. It's definitely just like the lifestyle, the behavior it kind of I don't really know. Just like the yeah, I guess the behavior you get from uh, following your subjective view on religion is just irresponsible behavior.
Mm-hmm. Completely. Our culture is irresponsible. Yeah, religions, people. Um, so Aubrey de Grey was talking about what we can actually do about aging, and it's like fucking not that hard. Like it's not. We're so close, and we've been we haven't known what to do, and what we've done up to this point to like combat cancer or Alzheimer's. I mean, those type of treatments will never ever work. Like if you try to treat cancer and like be like, okay, we're gonna treat you, and then you're gonna be good forever. Like that's
Hmm.
never gonna work. You're always gonna get cancer eventually or Alzheimer's if you don't die of anything else. And so like Aubrey de Grey's just talking about this, like how aging happens, like going from like metabolism, like that's like just our body doing its thing, like working and running. And so like the metabolism leads to damage, and then like eventually that damage is to like you get sick and then you die. It's like any machine that,
Hmm.
and so like we have cars that last 1,000 years, or not 100 years, and like really really long. That and they're not meant to last 1,000 years, but we like fix the damage before it gets too bad, right?
Right, right.
And so like we just need to do the same exact thing with our bodies. And so like before we get cancer, like we just jump in the middle,
Yeah.
and like we just do maintenance on our bodies, and like we've never like we don't have we haven't directed treatments like that. And like so he says basically if he gets like $100 million a year in for 10 years, like he'll be able to do everything he needs to do to like reverse aging. And like we're not like he's not getting that right now, but I mean like IBM, Google, like Google just had the startup that's like totally focused on reversing aging and stuff. Like we're going to do it. Like we're gonna do it. It's just like a matter of time. And the fucking counter revolutionaries, the fucking people, the religions, and the people that even if dude, like if like the idea of like, oh, like I only want to live for until I'm 70 because after that it's just shitty. Like yes, it's shitty right now, but it's irresponsible and it's counter-revolutionary. It's anti-human
Hmm.
to actually say that, to not actually realize that we have the capability to actually end it, and like we should be trying to do that, if not for ourselves, for our children, our grandchildren,
Right.
if we don't think we're gonna do it. So it's like yeah, it's counter-revolutionary, dude. It's anti-human to do that. I feel to say that
Yeah.
type of stuff, and it's equally as anti-human to say like, oh, I don't know what I would do with my time, or um, like just like any type of hesitation like that. It's just like what like it's just anti-life. It's just like
Yeah.
period end of story. Like it's just like what do you like any type of apology for death is anti-life, and like damn, fuck that. Yeah.
I don't understand, why we're in this position, but how,
Well, so like I've been thinking about that a lot, and it's like there are definitely a lot of things that can show us why we're this way. Like because we've been having a lot of conversations about this actually in the house, and like so we've never had the opportunity to actually deal with death, So if we before were to like look it in the face and try to defeat it, we would have potentially just gone mad because it wasn't like we would have realized
it
it's
wasn't an
no,
option.
yeah, it's not an option. It's nowhere near feasible.
Yeah.
But so like this is actually the first time where it's fucking
Okay.
feasible. So now we got to change everybody's minds.
Yeah.
Like so, and so like death being like the biggest thing, the biggest fuckery, and
Yeah.
like the biggest problem we have, we've come up with like a shitload of ways to deal with it, and to like to say it's okay, to say to like actually say it's the meaning of life. Like, we've come up with like all of this stuff. So now we gotta like somehow get rid of all of that.
Yeah.
But you can see why people are ready for death, because like we've always had to accept it. I mean, like up until only recently, like damn, like I mean, I thought I was gonna die until recently, so like I can think exactly of the things that I was thinking about as far as like how I'm gonna deal with death and stuff. I feel.
Right. Right.
So I think, yeah, you can see, you can kind of see the struggle. Dude, The Immortalist is like a really good book. He talks about this, like our psychology of death and stuff, and he goes in on it. It's just awesome. and it was like written like 30 years ago, but it's one of the best books as far as like a case for immortality, which is ridiculous that you have to make a case for immortality, but like
Right.
he like really shows you like what we do to get around death, and he's like, no, fuck that, like we need to put it in
Well,
front of us and end it, and like all of
and I
this shit,
mean,
we're going to the moon, like all of this stuff, like we can actually find infinity within, and that should be like the number one goal. Like we can
yeah.
actually, become infinite ourselves, and that should be like the number one goal before we go and do anything else. I mean,
Well,
like going to the moon is great to do that too, but
and okay, this isn't really a tangent, but when you look at, uh, I'll tell you, oh, I have looked at this, but when you look at like the commonalities between a lot of the major religions, actually all major religions, it's the idea of living forever. You know what I mean? That there's something after death, even if it's an, uh, monotheistic, uh, or like Islamic religions, Christian religions, Buddhist religions, Hindu religions, Judaism. They all they all kind of have the same idea of immortality. That's like that they want. And so really this is just kind of saying like now you can get it. I mean, it's still supporting the same belief that we get immortality. It's just like, hey, we can actually be gods now. Like this is pretty literal heaven on earth right now. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're totally right. That's what everybody wants. So actually, what's interesting is I was listening to Elon Musk talk about um, doing his SpaceX and electric cars and things. He was talking about like the American spirit, but I think obviously it's just like the human spirit, but Americans show this a lot is just the desire to like go explore things.
Yep.
And he said about Americans like if Americans like see that something's possible, if they like truly believe that something's possible, and we kind of set ourselves in the direction with people, getting behind it and different things. Like
Yep.
once we set ourselves in that direction, like we'll go probably make it happen. Um, and so like basically, like once people believe that it's possible, maybe we'll go do it, so it's maybe potentially that's the one of the biggest hurdles, right, is like convincing people that hey, this is fucking 10 years away. If we go get it, for sure it's done. If the whole world, if 50% of the world went after it, it'd be done in 5 years. It wouldn't even
Hey,
be so over.
have you seen oh, I think it's called How to Start a Trend on TED. It's a pretty short video, but he
Mm-mm.
basically analyzes a video as kind of an analogy for trend setting, whatever. And it's like, uh, it's a person on the side of the hill. There's a bunch of people like kind of laying on towels and stuff on the side of the hill, listening to music. Um, and like one person starts dancing, and it was one person in a crowd of like 200. One person standing there dancing, and it was like 30 seconds in, nobody else stands up. Minute in, nobody else stands up. Then it was like a minute and a half, like two other people stand up and join him. And then within 2 minutes, or I'm not sure what the exact time intervals were, but it was like after a certain point, it was kind of like everybody was up and dancing. But that trend would have only started if that one person was out there doing it by himself, like trying to get people to do it for like a minute and a half or whatever, all alone. But
Oh wow, that's
it's
crazy,
a pretty cool video.
dude. That reminds me of my friend Travis. He just started a YouTube channel, and he didn't worry about like marketing it really too much at all. Actually, like I don't think he maybe did any marketing. Um, and he just started grinding and putting out unbelievable videos. He started this YouTube channel called Dev Tips, and it's for like designers and people like getting into just like front end development.
Okay.
And so uh, he just started putting out amazing content, and now he has like 50 videos, and like he finally started to like
Surface.
he got like featured on a couple channels and things like that, and now he has like 1,200 people subscribed, and like just a lot of people very stoked because like I mean I'm stoked. Like I watch every video like as soon as it comes out. It's just unbelievable
Nice.
stuff. But like he didn't worry about everybody coming. He's just like, okay, if I just start putting out this like unbelievable stuff, like eventually like I'll have like 1,000 people or so like all
Yeah.
singing like all dancing or whatever, and like if they're like dancing to the same thing, like they're really into my shit, then like
Yep.
that's like yeah.
It's like add value, add value, add value, add value, add value, add value, and you're bound to get it back.
Mhm. Yep. Totally.
So what are your plans here short term? Next week, month, whatever.
Mhm.
What are you
Um
doing?
yeah, so launching my course, which I'm so fucking pumped about. It's like it turned out to be something like that I'm really like proud of. I think it's good. I think it gives people a lot of value.
Nice.
And it's like yeah, I don't know, like I think it's pretty good. So I'm really excited to like get out and like sell that. And so like I need to get out and sell my course to
Yeah.
basically like sustain myself, and then but like I'll be doing like YouTube stuff and whatever like along the way, so like I won't be like completely in sales mode all the time. But so yeah, like I'm putting out those YouTube channels selling my course, and hopefully I can get to a point where I can like move and kind of like go travel and stuff, and then just sell my course and produce content from wherever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to think of partially because I'm interested in writing, but then like also just videos of how I could um, share some information or share something uh, as value, but not really sure. I have nothing specific in mind yet, and I think you kind of need to have something specific to.
Potentially, yeah. Art is really one thing that's really cool, right?
What's that?
Because I said like art is one skill
Oh,
that you have that it's not like passing on information like an information product like a book or a video or something, but um, it's a cool way where you can kind of jump in and start making money if you sell and
mhm.
whatever.
I think if I came up with like a good portfolio of conceptual art, I could do something with it if there was a collection, kind of.
Dude, have you like looked into Etsy and those type of things to sell your
Uh-uh.
art? No. So
No,
like
you
or
know
like
how like
you're not
you're
interested in it?
I no, it's not that I'm not interested in it. Just you know how like your friend was putting up all these YouTube videos and not really worrying about putting himself out there.
Totally.
That's kind of where I'm at, just because I don't know exactly what direction I want to be associated with.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I've been there for sure. I was there for like the past like 6 months getting my course ready, like
Hmm.
figuring out exactly what I wanted to talk about and what the goal of the course was and like all of these type of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you have to keep in mind like your reputation, like
Yeah,
who you
exactly.
are and what you're trying to be known for, the followers you're trying to get.
Totally. You have to be, yep, super intentional.
Yep. Yeah. I've kind
Dude,
of
like I was just gonna say, well, no, you go first.
I was just gonna say that I've kind of figured that out with Twitter. I'm starting to realize that there's followers I appreciate and followers I just don't really people that favorite the tweets that I would favorite too. And then there's just like things that it's almost like not worth tweeting because it's not exactly me, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Um, I was gonna say one really cool thing about like the shroom experience is realizing how important your message is, and like I feel like I don't know, sometimes and just like generally sometimes you come to this idea where you just realize like how flippant you can be, how careless you can be with your messages and how flippant other people can be about their messages, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and then it's just like, whoa, messages, language is what creates the world. And then like to think about how careless we are sometimes in putting messages out there that are like misleading and
Right.
not where we want to go. And for like ourselves, like we're talking about this like personal brand stuff, but it's like if we can absolutely zero in on what we're trying to do and like be very intentional about what our goals are and how we can make that happen in the world and like yeah, instead of just being all over the place and just put it, I don't know, yeah. Anyway, that's just kind of interesting.
Hmm. That's kind of creating the reality you want to live in too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Be super intentional. Yeah, exactly. Dude, you know what? It's just like a fucking crazy idea that I was thinking about is like this is a little off topic, but you know how when you're surfing the internet, you're just kind of like in another world, and sometimes it can like get you like high almost,
Yeah.
like I'm just
Yeah.
like it's just like whoa, like this is like it's just like so fun, it's so cool, it's like so cool what you can do and stuff. And so then I was thinking like when we're in like virtual reality and even like Oculus Rift already, like when we can like put stuff over our faces, like the type of interfaces that we can create will just be so fucking insane,
Isn't
dude.
that
Like
bizarre?
like we will literally be like we could like be like flying through like space with like fucking content and like different things we can like choose and like just like what like whatever we could like like be like swimming in the ocean and like be on the internet, like be exploring like facts about like creatures we're looking at and
Right.
like who the fuck knows? Like, oh man, the interfaces of virtual reality for the internet like it will literalize that
Yeah.
like being in the internet feeling.
Such an unbelievable thing having access to everything, you know?
hmm Having yeah, being able to reach anybody,
Yeah. Being
be
like
able to
super
yeah.
super connected, super intelligent.
hmm The internet, amazing.
Yeah. I gotta get going here pretty soon.
Cool. Word. Well, is there anything else?
Let's see. Come at me with any ideas you might have that you could see as a art piece, because I like feeding
Mm,
off of ideas and
cool.
stuff.
So I just had a couple ideas. One was like picturing ourselves what we could be. So like what we're gonna look like 1,000 years from now, or even 20 years from now, or whatever. Like in the future, what we might look like physically. Like it could
Okay.
be anything. It could be like we could be like fucking like dust particles like across like the sky, like lit up, like I mean, we could look physically like the the limits are endless. What we could look like. So that would just be a really cool thing to explore, I think.
Definitely.
And then like, because that's what it's about. Like that's what art's about too, in a way. It's like painting what we want to be. And like that's what like obviously Star Trek and like all of these kind of sci-fi movies did too. But like art could totally do that. And I was just thinking about like, man, like that's kind of cool. The idea of what do we want to be? Like what might we physically want to look like? And that could imply like a lot of things about us.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
scattered across the universe, it's obviously like wow, like intelligence, like we've like impregnated the universe. We can kind of just fly around and like be on just another level, or well, like who knows how what directions you could take it. But anyway.
I like that idea. Trying to see if I have here. Maybe you can see it. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Interesting.
this would be more or less like our depressing current state. But
Uh-huh.
it's like I've expanded like on this idea. This is one I did for class, but it's like this candlehead
I love it.
society. You know, like they recognize that time is running out, and so they operate under that selfish, irresponsible mindset that they're
Hmm.
candle draining.
Yep. Nice.
Anyway, dude,
That's cool. I could like feel like just the feel that gives you a feeling too, just of their faces like melting and just like kind
a
of
very
whatever. Yeah,
passive, just kind
nice.
of whatever. Yeah.
Cool. All right, dude. Of
All right, man. Yeah, I look forward to talking to you again
course. Talk soon.
later.
Later.